Each day was pretty much the same. Some days were slightly different. For example, some days I had physiotherapy. But for the most part, days were long and monotonous. I would be fed, washed and taken care of. Moved from being sat in my wheelchair to bed and back again. I simply existed. It was soul destroying. I think in the back of your mind you always hope that things will change. But then as time passed and I began to realize that nobody knew I was there, I half resigned myself to the fact that is it. This is all my life will ever be. This scared me at times, the thought of spending the remainder of my life, locked inside my body waiting to die, probably all alone in some care home. It was often too much for me to bear, and it terrified me so much that I tried to avoid thinking about it. I coped by escaping into my mind. As I describe in my book, I would literally lose myself in my imagination. I'd imagine all sorts of things, like being very small and climbing into a spaceship and flying away. Or that my wheelchair would magically transform into a flying vehicle a la James Bond, with rockets and missiles. Yes, there were so many dark times, so much of pain and hurt. And not just for me but for my family too. Going through what I did was really rough. In some of the darkest moments I not only wanted to die but I longed for death to realize me. I also often felt everyone would be better off if I were dead. In my book, I talk about the night I even tried to end my own life. But I didn't even have the power to do that, which made things even worse. In fact, it was actually surprisingly easy. It just made sense for me to move to the UK. Obviously, leaving friends and family behind was difficult. I am the luckiest person alive and truly blessed to be able to share my life with such a wonderful person. I have found my soulmate. Jonah is truly my other half and we communicate in a way that I never thought possible. She is loving, constant, supportive and inspires me to be the best man I can possibly be. For example, in the book when I described really wanting to make her breakfast. At the time it was physically a huge challenge for me, but I did it. The kitchen was an absolute mess afterwards, but I did it.